Online dating is extremely nuanced and there are just a lot of options out there. So what are you doing to make the most of your online presence? How are you standing out from the sea of options that are available to men? I've tried a few of the dating sites out there. I've tried Tinder, Plenty of Fish, OkCupid, and so far I like Bumble the best. It's great for weeding out the creepers and it gives us a certain level of control as far as who we want to interact with. Now, it does put the onus on us as women to initiate the conversation, which for many women who are still stuck in the old-fashioned mindset of he should make the first move, this may be particularly tricky to navigate. So here are a few of my tips that I actually use to make the most of my Bumble experience. Number 1, start the conversation with a question. So I have talked to countless men, and it seems to be one theme plaguing us as women. We suck at openers. Apparently, "Hey there" is the most common phrase among women on Bumble. It's harmless and it's cheeky, it's friendly, but it's getting so many of us passed over. So I'm all about mini experiments, and I decided to try out just asking random questions as my opener. And it seems to be a far more effective way to get responses. So these questions don't really have to be particularly about anything. They're just random questions. So a few of my favorites are backpacking or luxury hotel? Would you rather win the lottery or find your perfect job? My favorite is if you could enhance any of the 5 senses, which would it be? This has been a very fun question. So in asking these questions, I've observed that it's a really fantastic way to eliminate men who aren't really good candidates because they either overthink the question, they give you one-word answers, or they just aren't that engaging. And it's a huge time saver, right? If you're weeding them out in the beginning, then you don't have to actually meet with them. So these questions are not hard questions, they're not brain benders, but they're a fun way to get a glimpse into somebody's personality. Number 2, set up the first meeting right away. Once you've had a short back and forth with your opening question, suggest meeting right away. I've noticed that men are really impressed with women who take the initiative to meet right away. My go-to is, "So I'm more of an in-person kind of girl. Would you like to grab a coffee or a drink sometime and see if we hit it off in real life?" Simple, but straight to the point. After you suggest meeting, set up the logistics and then move on with your day. Which brings me to point number 3. Don't chat for a prolonged period of time. Once you've set up the date, the time, the location for your first meeting, then don't engage in a lengthy conversation over the dating app. Save all the juicy stuff for your first meeting. 1, it'll give you an air of mystery, and 2, you'll have plenty to talk about when you first meet. I also don't think that you should talk a lot in between the time that you first meet them. Now, I know a lot of you may be worried that he might lose interest. That's why I suggest setting up the meeting as soon as possible, because if he can't go a few days without losing interest, then he's not the one anyways. And it's totally okay if in between that time you just send him a quick little message saying something like, "I'm really looking forward to meeting you." But keep it at that. This will keep him engaged enough, and if it doesn't and he loses interest, well then there's your answer and move on. This will set you apart from the other women that he's probably chatting with. A good way to adhere to tip number 3 is to follow tip number 4. Do not give your phone number until you actually meet. I know this sounds crazy, but trust me on this. Not only does it safeguard you against a bunch of strangers having your personal phone number, but it gives you a phenomenal power play. Stay with me. When you meet your match for the first time and it's going well, this gives you an opportunity to reward him. You can say something like, "I've really enjoyed meeting you and I'd love to see you again. You should give me a call sometime." Then you give him your number as kind of a reward for doing a good job. Men love to feel like they've won a prize, and they definitely value something that they've earned far more than something they've gotten easily without any effort. This will reinforce in his mind that you are different from the other girls that he's matched with who gave their number to him right away. You will definitely stick in his mind. Following tip number 4 and not giving out your phone number until you meet is critical to making sure you adhere to tip number 5, which is avoid the texting ship. So many matches on dating apps never actually materialize into dates, let alone relationships, because women get trapped in the texting ship. We've all been there. You match with someone on the dating app, you exchange phone numbers, then you're texting back and forth, day in, day out, and before you know it, 2 weeks have gone by and you still haven't met this guy. Newsflash, you are now in a relationship with your phone. He's got your undivided attention and you're not really looking for any more matches on Bumble because he sends you just enough sweet texts to keep you interested. His breadcrumbing efforts are just enough to keep you hopeful for the day you'll finally meet and he turns out to be this awesome guy. The texting ship can be avoided by following tip number 4, not giving him your phone number until you meet, and by meeting right away. I know these tips will feel strange and maybe go against some of your natural tendencies, but if you want different results, you have to try different methods, and life is all about mini experiments. Just by tweaking these little things, I have had a significantly better experience with my online dating efforts. I have way more fun and I meet quality men and really have a great time meeting new people. Time is precious and we all know that online dating is a bit of a numbers game, so why not increase your odds and play a better hand? Whether it's Bumble or any other dating app, by having a few of these tricks up your sleeve, you'll weed out the jokers and start meeting more winners. Stand out from the crowd by using these simple tips and be a better Bumbler. Thanks for tuning in to my holiday series. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. If you like the holiday series, check out my website, truthitude.com, for more videos like this. Make sure to check me out on Facebook and Instagram at Truthitude, and I'll see you guys next week.